Fragmentation and reunification around symbols, institutions, hierarchies, structures. It's interesting to me to watch you very winsomely and compellingly create a vision for reunification. And so I see all those pieces and I say, none of this is incidental.
Like, how does this work?
This is deep in your story.
Mm.
I do believe Eastern churches will have a role to play, and if there is ever a true reunion of the Catholic Church with the Orthodox Church, I'm not talking about a political one just for expedient reason. I'm talking about an actual theological, reunification between the two churches. The Eastern Catholic Church is going to play a major role in that.
At least hope that's where we are, where we're at the point where we're reunifying, because it seems necessary, but it's also, it seems like it's one of those mythologically reoccurring themes.
Yes.
And, I think that the approach that you take as a minister, of course, and a pastor is important, because it's trying to do the same thing, I think, to a degree that maybe other people are trying to do in a more secular fashion, which is to bring people back to these foundational stories. And the reason why I think that the character arc's mission to me is important is because what I'm hoping, at least, and what it seemed to have been able to do in the past, is be like a gateway towards a deeper understanding of the religious stories.
What does the kingdom of God look like, or the parousia, the reconciliation of all things, when we as saints, or the church, or the bride of Christ, mend the division and reunify the things? What does reunification look like? Because if being entails duality and division and night and day and differences, what then does reconciliate? And somehow this is connected to a thing I've been contemplating, and I don't even know what it means, but it's something. Being is good, creation is good, God is good, and we stop trying to conform everything to our image and to our judgments and the way that we think it should be. And then simultaneously, and I know this makes no sense, but simultaneously nothing changes and everything changes.
Luke, this is the new heaven and the new earth, okay? So you have this teleological new heaven and new earth, the destruction of all things. But it's fractal, right? When you reconcile things, multiplicities, particulars, when you bring them together in your own life, in your mind, let's say, suddenly you're living in a new heaven and a new earth. Right? Nothing is the same anymore. This is what reconciliation does, right? Reconciliation creates new heavens and new earths. Every single day, it does that.
got into this here, what do we call it? The Symbolic Worlds Eclipse Crossing stream. And of course, as always, where the heck did you put it, man? It's in the, oh, there it is.
Special thanks to the Shadow Cabal. So say we all.
Now, before we even get started, Tom is like hijacking the hive mind, says, what are the metaphysics for the pill? Well, the metaphysics of the pill, and he does mean the contraceptive pill, to be clear, is a little bit of deception and enmity for the womb, all tied up in a thing, and you put it in your mouth. A little bit of deception, and because it deceives your body into thinking you're already pregnant, so it doesn't let you get pregnant again. It's the deception, and it's because of the enmity for the womb that the devil has given it to you. That's what it is. Oh man. Oh, nice try there. You almost made it, Josh. You almost made it. You want another model railway set for next Christmas, Anselman? Another one? Oh, as you know, on the show, we give you a savings throw against the mind control that you swim in every day, and the mind control on this show. In order to participate in the savings throw against the mind control, you get to choose between survival, social, wisdom, or heart as the basis for your savings throw. If the die rolls, and I roll it, over 10, you take half of the damage. If it's under 10, you take full damage. But at least you got a savings throw. Survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Choose. Whoa, 2 of them out the box, including survival. That gets a prime 17 for you folks. Socialist, a 7. You do get +2 for just chatting in the hive mind. Lovers of wisdom also rocking in a prime 17. Hard folks, that's a solid 15 for you. That's like 3 5s. So most of you made it. Indigo kids, though, that's a 4 for you. A 4. A 4. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, Tom, with another question. You already got one. You got to save it for next stream or something, man. Yes, I didn't mean to step too hard on the Grail Country. I gave them an hour. I kicked back the stream for an hour, and here we are. We're going to do a Blue Church card of the show because so many of you are still solid members of the Blue Church, worshiping its set way more often than you pray. And the Blue Church card of the show is... Uh-oh. What's this one? Well, the 3 of spades is the card for the show, but the 3 of hearts has hopped out. So maybe it's a 33 today. Maybe it's a 33 today. Today's very special sloppy show is Symbolic Worlds, the Eclipse Crossing, both of which are references to events upcoming in the coming year, and there's a third event brewing I'm not even going to tell you about, but it's going to be the most epic of the 3.
We all know that there is no agency any living gent can see doing what is right for me. Just lifting up my bro so he can grow some eyes to see that doing what is right for me increases all our agency.
Do we have a classic? Remember it.
This agency. We walk past.
There is no agency, but there is an agency deck, and I will now be pulling the card for the show for the agents in the house. Remember, guys, you're not actually part of an agency. You've just subsumed your own will to a pretend thing and use that as an excuse to do horrible things to other people. But you'll actually be held accountable for the things you do in the name of the agency. What? Okay. My shovel fingers are broken. My shovel fingers aren't working. Lots of fumbles. I shouldn't have said all that. It was too much. I gave you guys saving. It was too much. I gave them savings throws. All right. Well, here we go. We're shuffling now for the agency card of the deck. We got lots of friends in the hive mind, which are the best. Donald Trump told me to tell you the agency card of the show is an inverted ace of clubs. This would be right side up. Inverted ace of clubs for you guys. And let's save the red church one for later. Let's save the one. But first, check this one out. And a special thanks to Lance Cleaver for that 33-second branding. We really appreciate it. Well, as the things we're discussing are events, and I need some to buy myself some more time. Here's a portion of Pass to Paul's Friday Bridges of Meanings Q&A live stream, in which I believe if I found the right timestamp, he discusses something of events.
Audience into a community, and because I think what people really need is community. They need each other, and that scales. That's marriages, that's families, that's neighborhoods, that's churches, that's community. And I know that, for Rod, I think that's really deep in Rod's heart as well.
Yeah, since we talked last, I'm now in the music business. We started a music publishing business this last year, and so now that I'm in Nashville, I might as well join in, right? So, I was talking to a friend of mine, I said, I'm probably going to lose all my money, and he says, No, you won't lose all your money. You just lose the money you put into this. But it's definitely fun to be kind of in the swim of it, and being part of it.
But I think that's one of the the ideas are nice, ideas are cool, ideas are fun, but community is way better, because it's actually community that breeds ideas. And so, essential part of Vervaeke's thing is this in between, the transjective. And so, that's I want to see flourishing, and people don't flourish without community. People without community die.
So we'll talk more about it. At least we're warming up to the idea. It might be fun to try something. So we'll talk more. See what kind of shape it might take.
Good. Now, Vendank, I was talking to Vendank yesterday, and we were talking about, we're probably going to do a video. We've got, there's a bunch of people that are talking 2024, but nobody's sort of planted a flag yet and said, May 2024, these are the speakers, because it actually takes a lot to do an event. It is not a small undertaking. It is not without risk. There's financial risk. There's ego risk. That's what's, one of the things I liked about this video was he names the fact that, there's ego risk in this, because you make a video and maybe no one will watch it, and then you're like, ugh. But he made this video 3 days ago and it had like 12 views when Grizz sent it to me. And so I just want to encourage people, do something. Do something.
Well, honest.
Now, before we get into the event part, I want to show you guys a little bit of why that video was something I shared, and I can do that by pressing these buttons.
What is this little corner? The TLC. It's been called a flotilla.
See, as a flotilla of channels, and
quit playing with your dinghy.
Grizz always calls it kind of a flotilla of channels. Find their space, find their corner in the corner, find their niche.
I think both Pajot and Vervaeke are admirals. Admirals.
Now we're going to have to talk about what does that meaning mean? Like, really?
I mean, his looming of the reaped clips in that was brilliant, and I got like 90 seconds deep. I'm like, Paul, you need to see this. Rascal says making branding sure is fun, and that's an excuse for me to play another one of hers.
Remember, embody. I gotta get some of Grizz's branding in here.
We want what's best for you. Remember, there is no agency. And also, remember, embody. Remember to embody.
This vague accent that Grimm has. Maybe he's been sent from Russia to America to colonize me personally. Maybe Grim Grizz is Putin's tool to get under my skin. And now that he's become my favorite YouTube channel, it's happening. Remember, embody. Remember, embody. We want what's best for you, and your body wants what's best for you.
Remember, embody, there is no agency. We want what's best for you.
Trust the facts. Remember, embody.
Don't have gratitude unless you remember, embody it. There is no agency. We want what's best for you.
Please do.
Remember, embody. We want what's best for you. Remember, embody. Participation and virtually not alone. I mean, these are the things of Grizz's channel are really central to this. Grim Grizz channel. The heart of the Grim Grizz channel is virtually not alone. Remember, embody. There is no agency. The heart of the Grim Grizz channel is about the question and anxiety of life being wasted in union with machines instead of other real human beings. That's the heart of your channel, Grizz. That's the heart of your channel. And it comes out of, very clearly, the pain that many people are growing up being parented by machines and not by their biological parents.
Now I did just discover that while I did what I had to do to bring up the Waves of Obsession video that I recommended that took off like a rocket. like a rocket, up to 916 views already, and featuring a comment from Jordan Greenhall, who used to. Anyway, I also discovered this. Look, even before that, Dumir landed the conversation with him, and Rakau, who complains that the sound on that one was no good. Dumir did do a video of how he does his things, and maybe he had some sound things in there. Meanwhile, he also did a World's Fair Impossible Construction video, and I bet you that one's great. Now we gotta go and talk about the the events that are coming up. First and foremost, Jonathan Pajot himself is holding what they are calling the Symbolic World Summit. And most interesting, well, not most interesting, but one of the interesting things about the Symbolic World Summit is that it's on the leap year day of the leap year. And if you want me to leap over there, and you should, I'm going to need some help because he put a $400 price tag on it. Let's see what it says. We're going to have logo-centric art where you can meet the other artists and discuss how best to, you know what's best for us. Interpret the world through a logo-centric, symbolic lens and practice intuitively incorporating that knowledge into your work and your art. Oh, it looks like they're going to have Richard Rowlands talking because there's a universal history. Considering the world as a medievalist would, collecting and categorizing world and local events of the past, not through an evolutionary or cause and effect philosophy, but instead through a symbolic lens. Learn to parse out what's going on. Hearth and hospitality. I wonder who that talker is going to be. But look, Jonathan Pajot, the renowned liturgical artist, writer, and public speaker through his popular YouTube channel. Anyway, the important bit is that they're having it in this place called Tarpon Springs, Florida. And for me to get to there, it's a 1,332-mile drive. It'll take me 20 hours and 54 minutes. But I have family there. So if I don't go, I'm kind of a giant jackass. And so we've already delivered on the crashing of the Symbolic World event. I'll be starting a big fancy pay me money so I can go campaign soon. Because even if you don't do the $400 ticket thing, I still want to be there to go see people. I can linger outside. I can protest. I'll hold up a sign outside. This event costs too much, and see my family, and that'd be nice. But that's a heck of a drive. My car gets about 400 miles to a tank, and so that's going to be about 9 tanks of gas there and back. And I usually like to sleep at least once on a 21-hour drive. So there's another 2. We're figuring out how much of a goal setting, because as we learned from the Wisconsin death trip, I set the goals way too low. All right, let's take a break. We need a break? Yes. First this. Wait, no, do this one first. Do this first and then the other one. Okay.
The list?
Yes, any of the first level ones.
I'm gonna get a soda. Anyone want one? Hey, Graham, I'm not in the room, right? What room? I want to cast Magic Missile. The room where he's casting all these spells from. He hasn't cast anything yet. I am, though, if you'd listen. I'm casting Magic Missile.
Why are you casting Magic Missile? There's nothing to attack here.
I'm attacking the darkness.
Why, yes, we do have some white poison carbonated sugar death water. No, no, we don't. Oh, thank you from Steven for tickling the Kofi bot. I tell you, using the phrase "tickle the Kofi bot" has got the most donations I've ever gotten before in my entire life. That in one stream, that was pretty fancy. Okay, so let's see. We played that. Oh, great. We're out of things to play. All right. Let's start talking about the Eclipse Crossing then. What?
Oh, shoot. Where was I going with this? Attention.
The Eclipse. Welcome to the Eclipse Crossing Symbolic World Stream. The Eclipse Crossings is the event that I'm going to be at. That's not an event. There's going to be no signups, but I'll be there. And if you want to get yourself there, then we can film it and we can call it an event. The thing of it is, way back in, let's see, yeah, bring that up. Oh goodness. All right, I'm gonna bring it up, but I gotta find it. So let's see, have we done this one yet? This means that the individual psyche is far from being safely synthesized. On the contrary, it threatens to fragment only too easily under the onslaught of unchecked emotions. While this situation is familiar to us from the studies of anthropologists, it is not so irrelevant to our own advanced civilization as it might seem. We too can become dissociated and lose our identity. We can be possessed and altered by moods or become unreasonable and unable to recall important facts about ourselves or others, so that people ask, "What the devil has gotten into you?" We talk about being able to control ourselves, but self-control is a rare and remarkable virtue. Speaking of self-control being a rare and remarkable virtue, what I'm referencing right now is the eclipse of 2017 that was a total eclipse that Trump ignores the pleas of "don't look" to stare directly into the sun during that eclipse. Now, as you can see here, the total solar eclipse of 2017 took this here path, crossing here. And what makes it so fascinating to me is here is the eclipse. Wait, no, that's the other one. Here, go to this one here. This is a map of the current eclipse that's going to happen on April 8th of 2024, nearly a full 7 years later. And as determined by my research on a stream some time ago, those two eclipses, this one here and this one here and this new one here, are going to be crossing paths right around Bosquedale, Illinois. And so I am going to go to Bosquedale, Illinois on the April 8th to be where the eclipse crossed paths. And thusly, you have the Eclipse Crossing, title of this stream. That's much closer than Tarpon Springs, Florida, and won't, even if you guys fund it, not at all. I will be going. Here's now over on this NASA site, they make a big deal out of the 2023 eclipse and the 2024 eclipse crossing. So if you want to head down to, I don't know, San Antonio for that, those were the 23 and 24 crossings. But you have to understand that the eclipse of 2017, where Trump stared at the thing where he did this, for this one, this was called the Great American Eclipse. So maybe we've been eclipsed for the last 7 years, and there's going to be a great turnaround. Anyway, so that's going to happen. That's definite. Even if I somehow do not make it to Tarpon Springs, the Eclipse Crossing is so important to me for reasons I don't even understand. And you should know. You should know. If you're not doing anything this April 8th, feel free to join me in Bosquedale.
Remember, there is no agency. We want what's best.
It's Dell, not Dale. It's spelled like this. If you're trying to make reservations, I'm gonna go to the Dollar General there. That's how you spell it, Chad. It's in the down here. This is how it's spelled. The Bosque Dell. It's a Dell. Let's see. You got 80% in your backyard for the last one. Which one was the last one? I can't predict whether or not there'll be a time glitch on the crossing, but I'm hoping to cross into a different timeline where things get better instead of worse. Chad was standing on the roof of a garage in Milwaukee, and Slack even took his daughter down to Mount St. Helens and watched it in case it made the volcano go off. Very tricky, sir. Very sneaky, sir. Yes, CW, that is the Dollar General parking lot thing. Although I heard Dollar General is closing 7 years. Exactly, Dr. Time. Exactly. That's why this one from NASA, where they make a big deal about the 2 years crossing, is completely irrelevant. Because it's 7-year cycles we're concerned with. Too close to your animal. You can bring the lady. Yes, I'm getting. This is Adele. I think I'm doing this on. Okay, so we have, and hopefully, and the rumor is that the third and secret upcoming event is going to be happening in September-ish, maybe late August. But it's close enough that from that event, I will be able to finish my pilgrimage to the secret spot. I can't tell anybody where it is but it's close to there.
I'm gonna have a look at you.
But so there, the event announcements, and we're figuring. So please help me determine, like, what do you think the fundraising goal for the Tarpon Springs Symbolic World Summit event should be? We know that it's going to take at least 9 fill-ups of gas and 2 overnight stays, and the fill-up of gas is only like $60 unless Biden jacks the prices again. But we got to do the math and figure out what the goal setting would be. So if you leave that in the comments of the replay, you get +5 to next stream saves. Unless, of course, you roll a natural one. Spatch says the one he was talking about was the last April eclipse. Yes. Okay, we can do this. Dr. Time. I have a recording with Sanjuro I'm doing this week. Shh. And yes. But burn is so much better. So much better. The map, the map I like for the map that I determined was Bosquedale was this one, sir. It was the timeanddate.com is where I originally determined that Bosquedale was the best place to be at the crossings, if that is at all helpful for you. And special thanks to Nate Sherry and Michael Martin for me stealing all of your live stream viewers. Here's part of that stream.
He's been asleep for most of the book because he's ensnared in materialism. Elmer replied, "Cannot man exist without mysterious offering of self for another? Is this friendship and brotherhood I see in the likeness and similitude of Lois, my friend?" And Jesus said, "Wouldst thou love one who never died for thee, or ever die for one who had not died for thee? And if God dieth not for man, and giveth not himself eternally for man, man could not exist. For man is love, as God is love. Every kindness to another is a little death in the divine image, nor can man exist but by brotherhood." So saying, the cloud overshadowing divided them asunder. Albion stood in terror, not for himself, but for his friend. Divine and self was lost in the contemplation of faith, and wonder at the divine mercy, at Los's sublime honor. And then
it appears the assassins have failed.
Yes, I'm back. Special thanks to you. I felt disabled not being able to play the brand. Really. Here's some of my favorite brand.
Camera set. Set. Sound set. Set. Roll it.
The laws of probability and chance indicate if an infinite number of monkeys are given typewriters and allowed to peck away for an infinite time, they will eventually produce all the world's great literature. But in the process, we find monkeys, like humans, also turn out quite a bit of absolute junk.
Action.
In voice recording, the essential quality we must strive for is intelligibility.
Cut. That was good. Good. Very good.
Do you think it was me, CB? Do you think it was really me?
You were sensational, Pussycat. Just sensational.
We did it, CB. Another great shot.
Okay for sound?
Hello and welcome. Welcome everybody. Welcome back. It's so much easier when I can hide behind the branding, and I'm glad you're here for it. Yeah, there's been some important questions in the Hive Mind chat I must address before we conclude our hanging out of this time. Where was the one from Lenny I liked? Not that one. Yes, you do. If your die roll, if you choose correctly, and the die comes up a natural 20, that you get a +3 from that to the next stream saves. So like it's one of the few that crosses over a single die roll can give you a bonus on the next stream save. That's how we do. Or was it +5? I don't remember. It's +3 now, baby. It's +3 now, baby. You guys get +4s. Did you guys know if I mute and you can't hear me talking, you get a +4 if you put an emoji in there? If you say sound or I can't hear it, you only get a +2. Also, in exciting news, according to Franco and whatever, CW Weeks was over on Digital Gnosis. Apparently, they're making intimations, and he's going to appear on CW's launch show whenever that happens. CW, put a link to your channel in the Hive Mind, if you please, so that we can't miss that. Meanwhile, Chad asks an important question. He says, does this little corner exits? Yes, it exits. I'm sure. I mean, that guy Waves of Obsession made a map. If I'm not mistaken, you can go over to the Friday Morning Nameless channel just like this. Hey, over here like this, and go to community and answer his fancy little poll. Does this little corner of the internet exist? To which nobody has said no yet, and there's been at least 11 votes according to those thumbnails. There's comments I'm not going to read, but hey, you can weigh in like this is some kind of democracy. And you know what we haven't done yet, Grim? Oh, what? What? Oh, the channel is at Christian Diaspora. Let's see if we can't find that together. We put it up here. Hey, share this tab instead. And we go way up high into the URL and say at Christian Diaspora, which is a way better, what you call it? Ping. Give me them notifications, baby. It's a way better channel title than anything using the word agape. Way better. Oh, look, he has no... Wait, there is a video from 6 months ago, which will buy me time to check in with the Hive Mind.
The year was 1943. Richard Kroner, after a delay not connected with the lectures themselves, was finally able to see his own contribution to the storied Gifford Lectures come into print as a handsome hardcover titled The Primacy of Faith. But I suppose I should back up a bit. The Giffords, the perennial public exploration of so-called natural theology, and Super Bowl equivalent for theology nerds all throughout the Anglosphere and beyond. You may have heard that Karl Barth, one of the most significant Christian theologians of the 20th century, infamously declared himself an avowed opponent of all natural theology in his own Gifford lecture, quite possibly still the most famous of them all, precisely because of that flagrant academic fuck you such a punk rock and subversive attitude displayed, effectively assaulting the very raison d'etre of a prestigious and elite institution from its own platform and podium. Maybe that's why he enjoyed the rock star-like status he did in the larger culture, even appearing on the cover of Time magazine. Hard to imagine such notoriety for a theologian in our day, although the modern equivalent of that would be something more like Paul Vanderkleeg in his own Netflix special. Still, an impressive...
One thing is sure, a great change of our psychological attitude is imminent. That is certain. Why? Because we need more. We need more psychology. We need more understanding of human nature, because the only real danger that exists is man himself.
And whoosh.
Dang, I almost gave you another +4. My official answer to your question, what is Mark so mad about, Rascal, is that he was publicly exiled. Apparently, whatever was said publicly, and that is a very severe ego wound. I'm with Chad, though, that he's not actually upset. I don't know that he's capable of those emotions. And let's see. Yes, when is the PBK Netflix special? And why would anybody who considers themselves a Christian or at least a conservative pay Netflix money when you know that they're deep in bed with the Obamas? I'm not sure. It may be hiding for me in the Reaper's room or the clip stream. It could be here. It could be somewhere in here. But I haven't gone through these in quite some time. Meanwhile, here's one from Clint. Yes, visit the site. Share this tab. Disappear.
You know, I was thinking as I was preparing for the show this morning that God himself could not create a better system than the free markets. And the reason is that the free markets consist of billions and billions of decisions that are being made by consumers out of their own free will that are ultimately going to drive where we're going to end up. And it's so important to remember that consumers' attitudes change. Consumers are going to want to have, for example, Louis Vuitton is right now designing all of these new luxury leather goods that are made out of mushrooms, so that they can say this next very luxurious bag is carbon negative. And I promise you, they're going to sell a lot of those bags to people out there who really want to be able to say, look, I have a carbon negative bag.
There is so much nefariousness going on. As Week says, T-Mobile gives us Netflix. And that reminds me that I'm almost positive that T-Mobile is now one of the companies that has decided it can fine you for what you say on the internet using its services. Oh, and then there's the natural assets companies that we haven't gone into really, but I have warned you about already. And I don't know. That's what came out when we did the Eclipse Crossing Symbolic World stream. But at least all of us got to be virtually not alone together. Special thanks to the Shadow Cabal. Okay, there's the stream for the day. Goodbye, everybody. I hope. Oh.